lead in lane with Kennen's laning strength, and the final pick of the draft is that Varus for Doublelift.
Yeah, and even though we kind of prepped saying it was going to be a Aphelios or Jinx, I think once the Kennen came in and you're thinking
like that, but on something like the Rel that is slower, could be more of a problem. Pyosik going in mid, Quid under pressure, APA gets paid. First blood to Team Liquid.
Yeah, and Pyosik really trying. 100 Thieves just has a strong team fighting composition, so they want to get to that phase. Team Liquid, though, is going to push.
Ooh, Doublelift getting engaged on here as Yawn is down to about 100 HP. He's already dead. 100 Thieves. Get him in the 2v2 as Busio is slammed back into the wall. He's got the bailout, but he ain't going to bail out in time. CoreJJ just might get traded back as Closer comes in with a shattering strike. And Doublelift hits him with a piercing arrow. It's a 2-2 game.
When the things go bad early.
CoreJJ jumping over the wall there to see if he could interfere with this Drake take, but because it's a 3-man commit from 100 Thieves, there's nothing for a lone Rakan to do about it. Ssumday backing up now. He knows that his team has more. Hooray. Yeah. 120 damage.
Reduced.
Reduced by 90 or whatever. Busio, handshake there onto Pyosik. 100 Thieves now getting engaged. Nice! Engaged from CoreJJ, finds Closer and Quid, but now it's Pyosik locked down in the front. Quid finds the kill. 100 Thieves strike right back, and Team Liquid are left down a man.
Great ult there from Busio.
I gotta say, in the two biggest fights that mattered, Busio has really performed this game. It was the gank early, where he was able to get the kill back onto Yawn, eventually giving Doublelift the kill onto CoreJJ as well. And right there, again, CoreJJ engages. Busio is patient enough.
Hold on now! Quid immediately with the shuffle. APA thought he was gonna stick around and take a turret, and Quid.
They're going to be able to give first turret of the game to Quid. Uses the crown once again.
A turret with it. It ended up having a timer that ran most of the way down. Speaking of the timers, this one's getting a little bit short, but I don't always trust Spectator Herald timer anyway. Summit versus Ssumday in the bottom. This is still the part of the map where a big part of Team Liquid's gold lead is coming from. But Ssumday's going all in. He nearly gets the kill, but he won't quite find it. Doublelift shows up. And the snipe with Chains of Corruption. Are you kidding me? Doublelift.
And be able to really, fight people in these side lanes. The way that you win trades in a 1v1, if he's going to be playing in the side lane against Seer, it's going to be tough, I think, for him, unless the rest of his team can do a really good job to actually create space.
Closer trying to go in there, but now we got the follow-up from 100 Thieves, and they ain't going to find it just yet, but they swoop them right back in. Summit's picked up thanks to the Emperor's Divine.
I've been able to see them.
This is amazing.
But the ward over by the Baron Pit should have actually tipped them off, right? Like, there was a ward on the way to the Baron Pit.
Let's watch this back with vision, because there's no way 100 Thieves would just give it. That's an incredible call by TL.
There was a ping, a red side ping from 100 Thieves on
here from what was looking like a pretty doomed game.
And they need to as well, because that was sole point for 100 Thieves as well. So this bottom turret goes to Summit.
And Yawn is in a pretty decent spot. They're going to knock down the tier 1 mid guaranteed. So they got a lot from this. They went from down gold to
not having those outer turrets up for 100 Thieves, maybe allowing CoreJJ and Summit to have a little bit more real estate to look
from a random angle. They know where he's at. Now the Dragon, they're just hitting. Burned down by Team Liquid. 100 Thieves ready to make their entrance. We might just get a smite fight.
He makes Closer.
Verdict. Did not hit Closer, but it is going to go over to Team Liquid anyway. 100 Thieves now falling back. They've lost.
Like they're not going to Soul, so they're just going to have to flip this. But now you're doing this against an Ezreal, and you're in the pit against a Kennen. I kind of hate this call, but they're going to go for it.
They try to use the Keeper's Verdict. Pyosik doesn't hit. Summit with a massive engage. So Summit on to 3, but he ain't going to find the kills just yet. Pyosik has stolen the Baron, and 100 Thieves already lost Busio. They try to retreat back over the wall. It took them 10 damn.
It's fairly difficult to actually catch a Cleanse Ezreal, to catch this Tristana. So it feels like they don't feel that they can actually start these fights. And so they just kind of end up throwing their game on this decision to go for the Baron, which was really, really ill-advised.
Pretty all right, as the mid lane tier 3 now under pressure from Summit. He'll finish that one off, and Ssumday is still just no answer whatsoever to this Kennen in the 1v1. It's very difficult for him to deal with this champion, because if you look at the itemization of Ssumday, it's pure armor to deal with the double 80 carry on the enemy team. So that
paralysis for 100 Thieves
does so much, as Team Liquid now trying to get away. Pyosik using the slam to tackle Ssumday backwards and get himself out. Now Team Liquid's looking for their opportunity to find something else. Ssumday's still here on the flank. TL pushing right back up. The mid lane inhibitor has fallen. Team Liquid with a 4-1 split. Summit off to the side in mid lane, as the remaining 4 players now look to pressure onto the inhib. Take that one out, make it a 2-inhib game. Pyosik with a steadfast presence. CoreJJ grand exit right back over the wall. Ssumday with a knockup. He goes all out to bring Summit into the rest of the team, but he pops the Zhonya's, and instead it's Quid, who may just drop. The bailout keeps him alive. Beautifully done from Busio, as Pyosik tries to go over the wall, and Quid still lives. Closer tried to disengage. Ssumday doing the same. 100 Thieves hold the line. Don't you flash away to escape the follow-up. 100 Thieves commit some rel resources there as Quid loses the crown. 100 Thieves trying to keep Team Liquid zoned away from this one. There is no Baron for another minute and 15 seconds, but Team Liquid's going right down mid. They've already found Closer.
Huge.
Why was he there? Team Liquid pushing with a 4-man squad down mid. They got the 1-man split up top. 2 inhibitors are already down, and inhibitor number 3 is about to have a wave crash into it. TL are 5v4 for the next 35 seconds.
Going to be a really difficult defense for 100 Thieves. You could see they wanted to stick around for the Cloud Drake, but Team Liquid just didn't give them the option to do that. 3 inhibitors down now, 5 Team Liquid members in the base.
Right, so if they left a ward in the base, we know that they didn't, but 100 Thieves doesn't know that. You know, he could just TP and look to end the game, so they actually take next Dragon. You basically have to turtle up, hope that you can survive against all of these supers with the Baron waves coming in as well. It's going to be
Yeah, 4 supers at once crashing, though, so here's Team Liquid stepping up. Oh, APA takes so much damage.
Doublelift is also at half HP, though, so it's a little bit harder to chase than they'd like. Shattering Strike down to the Summit. He is about to get shredded. Closer here with the front line as Busio's ulti stops Team Liquid from following up. Now they're bringing in the TP to reinforce. Pyosik gets stuck up against the inhibitor wall. He's juggled around by Quid and taken down. 100 Thieves gonna do for 1, but the inhibitor mid is still gonna drop. Some days too low, the Thieves have to retreat. They've lost a Nexus turret. 100 Thieves, 4v3, holding on, but it's double marksman against a respawn inhibitor, and the thing's about to drop. Doublelift charges up a piercing arrow. A TP's about Thirster, so the poke also becoming less and less meaningful as Closer is coming in for the flag. There it is, flashing with the crash down Magnet Storm. CoreJJ's the focus as Young gets away to the side. Someday coming in as the Keeper's Verdict ejects Someday and Closer from the fight. Someone's gonna drop. They turn around. Quid gets a reset, but only for a second as Doublelift and Boost here are looking to do APA! APA's in the back of the base. APA's in the Nexus. They gotta try to stop them, but they can't do it. It's game number 1 for Team Liquid.
All right, APA bounce back from a questionable...
all time. You know, he has played a lot in the past, so it's not as though it's going to be a first timer or anything like that. But NiKo has really kind of fallen out of favor with some of the nerfs. You know, was massive.
It was a run back of the sides. What made you change up some of the bans and picks? You obviously prioritized Xayah higher than Tristana this time.
I mean, despite us winning the game, you know, I felt like the game wasn't like too much of a given for us. Like it was more of like them playing like the game super bad and not super bad. So I think just the way, looking at the way they play the game, you know, they just like kind of
remember, even though it is 280 carries, it's going to be Doublelift going AP, and they're going to look for the dive on Yeon.
Yeon now stunned up, down to 100 HP. He's bursted out. CoreJJ falls too. They'll make it a 2-for-1 as Summit TP's down, but he's too little, too late. 100 Thieves. But Someday doing a good job sidestepping away from that one. He's played both sides of K'Sante versus everything so much at this point. And Quid both looking to potentially get involved here. The Herald down to 2,300 HP. The eyeball is active. Someday's going to come down and try to interfere with it now as APA and Quid 1v1 off to the side, but Summit joins up. He goes all out. He brings Quid back underneath the turret, and Team Liquid ends up taking out the enemy mid laner, but 100 Thieves finish off
the area. He's just kind of walking back in. Core spots him, so you'll see Pyosik moving back down, but Closer's trying to threaten the dive, and the TPs are coming in.
Busio going for the flash engage, but he ain't gonna find it. CoreJJ with a knock up 1-2. Yeon and Pyosik diving even further. Massive top blossom from APA finds 3. Quid and Busio gotta try to get back as Closer is too far behind enemy lines. Pyosik picks up the kill. Quid staying around a little bit too long, and now he's got to get away. The blooming blows are going to force him back.
He did a good job actually CCing Doublelift up with his own ulti.
Yeah.
And I think that was maybe the thought process there, is that Doublelift supposed to follow up. So, you know, did Doublelift call, hey, put Plasma on him, I'll come in? You know, who's making that call in that situation? But at the end of the day, they do get a really good...
It'll be a good fight as long as he can get the right entrance. Got to watch out for the APA Wombo combo on NiKo, though. Here we go.
TP coming in. Ornn is not afraid to join up in the very middle of everything. Eyeball open on the Rift Herald, down to about 3k HP. Quid off to the side. Got to be careful about the feathers. CoreJJ gets caught before he's able to find his entrance, but he still gets some of the CC anyway. APA with a 4-man ulti. Team Liquid striking back, but Doublelift is still alive. He finds a double kill, but Summit takes it over the wall and shuts him down. Pyosik's ready to reset. It's a 3v3. Crash down comes in. Pyosik's about to show Closer who's the better rel, and it's the one playing Viego. Summit and Pyosik continuing the chase with Yeon behind him. Quid and Busio got to escape as Pyosik continues moving on forward, and that's going to end the fight.
That's Hylian to try to get that big shutdown off of him. They're going to drop the Herald mid, but 100 Thieves is on Dragon here, so they're going to try to force it. But this means they're going to lose 2 turrets mid for this. Potentially even more than that, which again is a pretty questionable call.
Yeah, 100 Thieves really hard committing to keeping Team Liquid away from Soul Point. Not even Soul, just Soul Point. The Herald about to get its charge off onto the third turret in mid lane. Massive amounts of damage.
Kills to 6, 500 gold down, up 1 Drake. Has got to feel pretty good for Team Liquid.
Absolutely, and Pyosik is going to be closing in on his second item, right? And Viego, from that point, could potentially snowball, but they're looking for a dive on Yawn.
Lucio with the engage, forces out the Feather Storm immediately. Someday summoning up the Ornhorn, and CoreJJ is taken out by Double Lift. Nice counter punch from 100 Thieves.
Top lane tier 2, but Pyosik is here to threaten.
APA wants to clear out the wave, but he's not going to clear it all out in time. They're dropping the depth charge on the real Nico, but the Pop Blossom forces them to give up on going all the way in for the kill as he makes his way back underneath the tier 2. 100 Thieves disengaging after that, looking out the enemy front line, now turning their attention back over to the Drake. APA using the clone recall trick to try to get a little bit of scouting down, but no.
Much stronger than the last time 100 Thieves could have done this.
Summit going to the Hex Gate to the back of the Baron pit. TP coming in now to make sure they can bring APA in, but APA immediately thrown up into the air. Pop Blossom finds Closer, but he's the only one. APA tries to get away, but Double's got the killer instinct. Yawn goes up into the air, but he'll die as soon as he lands. Someday taking the kill credit on that one as Quinn jumps forward, going after CoreJJ. Double versus Summit, 1v1 off to the side as Buzio gets jumped on by Pyosik, but the Viego will not find a kill just yet. He finally gets one. He's going to try to take the body over the wall. Goes Closer, Magnet Storm on 2. They're looking to get the tanks. They got to focus Pyosik. Summit tries to disengage. Double Lift hot on the chase, continuing after him. Finds the kill with the Void Seeker as Quinn takes a rocket jump forward. Pyosik lives, but there's 3 dead on Team Liquid for only the support on 100 Thieves. And their Thieves looking to put some pain onto the tier 2 turret here in the bottom lane. Closer off to the side. APA only going to lose the clone. Ornhorn summoned up. Someday right to the uprights for 3 points, but nothing here in League of Legends. Closer. Shattering strike. Yawn having to escape. Pop Blossom coming out from APA to find the engage on everybody. Double Lift goes on a rampage and Buzio drops. Double Lift's got to try to keep himself alive, and he's doing it. Pyosik got him. Pyosik's about to melt, but he found the reset on the Double Lift. Will he be able to do anything else? It doesn't quite look like it. Summit goes all out. The rest of 100 Thieves are still in the answer. 100 Thieves just pulled it off. A triple kill on the Quinn. Double Lift died so the team could thrive. They're going to come back, finish game number 2, and tie this series up.
Just like that, 100 Thieves gonna close this one out in under 30 minutes. Massive game here from Double Lift. It started out perfect at level 1, and they made that lead count.
From level 1 to a 27.5-minute win, 9-2 Kai'Sa, 4-1 Trist. You boys said the carries had to carry, and they get it done.
Someday, I'm actually pretty scared this game because you got Fifth counterpicked by the Fiora. You know, he has a blind, he's on the Cassante, but it's also paired with a really strong ganking jungler in the 5v5s. Because if you don't go for that build, you actually can't really maintain enough mana to spam out those Qs in fights for very long, because his mana, so we couldn't flash there. So he had to Killer Instinct to a skinnier part of the wall, then flash over. But if that Miasma catches you, it's nothing. He's basing it, has no TP, so it is going to be a free Herald, but they're going to trade it for the solo tower gold on the bot side for Yawn. They can actually get in. They're just getting harassed so heavily. Unless they are willing to make like a full commit flash play, AP is just harassing them on the side.
Pyosik has
gone in. He's all out looking for the enemy mid laner as APA's been caught, but the Cosmic Radiance keeps him alive now. Closer off to the side, just dies. First blood over to the side of Double Lift. The AD carry. Double Lift going into the back. He won't be able to find APA. Instead, he's going to get burst down next. Dredge line finds him, and TL buries him. 100 Thieves tried to go, and 100 Thieves got.
Would take even stronger control of the game.
Yeah, that's a difficulty, and that's why I thought they were going to just back off, because they, everyone approaching from one side.
Just want to dive now. The tier 1 turret's still standing, but just barely. But it stands long enough to make sure that 100 Thieves aren't going to get what they came. Complete goofy approach to the fight.
You're playing a 2-threat comp, and your mid laner has Everfrost, Banshees.
Team Liquid making their way up. Buzio's been spotted, so they don't have the element of surprise anymore. 100 Thieves still on the Baron. Got it down to about 4,500. Pyosik still thinking about stepping up. APA has found Buzio, has to pop the quickness just to try to get himself away as Quinn takes a chunk. Massive engage coming out from Closer, but nobody's there to follow up. They immediately pop the Cosmic Radiance. Double Lift jumps back into his own death, and Yawn takes the kill. Summit's going after Someday. Team Liquid had no troubles with this one.
Checkmate. TL have answered everything.
Force has to fly in, but there's just more people there ready to kill him. So perfectly played fight by Team Liquid. Soul secured. I mean, I'm looking across the map. There's a turret dead, so it's not a perfect game, but it's pretty damn close.
It is pretty damn close. This is incredible game here from TL. I would say this is like the cleanest game I've seen from them all split. I don't want to jinx it.
Yep.
We'll see if they can actually close it out cleanly, but great draft, great play. This is really solid stuff here from TL. Don't like what 100 Thieves brought to the table as far as their answers in draft.
Well,
It's
come
just
Get out of
Someday
there, bud.
with a nice...
Come on.
Trying to engage. Everybody else is up here. Someday's up in top side. Summit gets caught. Flashes back over the wall, but Doubleup's ready for the flash follow to shut us
Listen,
down. So
that-
finally, 100 Thieves are on the board, but at what cost?
I mean, that's fine. That always happens. That's Summit.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah, two things are true of every Summit game. He's going to win lane by 20 CS, and that's going to happen as well.
He's going to die
So
inside.
we got that out of the way. The Team Liquid's still in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a really good spot. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal. He does die mid lane, but they get
Proactive this game, and you can say it's because of the draft, so then I have to go back and ask, well, then what the hell was the plan with the draft? It just seems like...
Everfrost?
Yeah.
You have got to absolutely trash this team in the early game, and Teal is so good in early game.
And your question of the margins of play were so slim that they just didn't execute and they lost.
Pioshik going for the dive, leaves the charge with Dreadline as the tier 3 turret dies. Quid, half HP. Someday telling the same story here off to the side. Pioshik took a chunk, but that doesn't matter. Team Liquid going to claim their second inhibitor of the game here in mid. They've got the wave crashing into the tier 2 up in the top side. Door is
door is
bolted
closed.
shut with titanium bolts. Team Liquid looking to chase after Closer and Someday here. They got the wave crashing into the final remaining tier 3 turret for the side 100 Thieves. Team Liquid, they're starting up the Baron, and they're starting it up with only 3 dudes. APA's got the damage to burn it down pretty rapidly. Summit's back in the enemy base, working on the Nexus turrets. Busio trying to go in. Cosmic Radiance coming down as 100 Thieves try to make their last stand. Nobody's gonna die just yet. Team Liquid falling back. APA and Yon both took a chunk, but Team Liquid took a Nexus turret. Summit's just put Nexus under pressure as they send Quid back into the base now too, but it's gonna be a TP coming in from the side of Team Liquid to bring APA back into the fight now as Closer's ready to try to fight and challenge here for the Baron, but it ain't gonna work as Busio's taken down.
He got him!
Everybody's
Summit!
dropping. Summit's going in. He's gonna kill him 1v2. Quid flashing away from the repose. Summit finally dies to the damn turret. It don't matter. 100 Thieves is done for. Team Liquid's gonna end this one in 32 minutes.
Incredible game here from TL. Absolute domination in draft, in game. TL are going to move it to match point here. They're up 2-1.
Tristana remains 100% win rate in this series. Cassante remains 0% win rate in this series. Team Liquid, LS tweeted it, you saw it at the bottom of the screen, the Draft Kingdom.
Here in the lower bracket of the Summer Split playoffs, if you're going to go out, you got to go out with Closer on Viego and Doublelift on Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they were able to orchestrate a team composition. Overall, very well done by Team Liquid.
And I want to say this is all 4 games now that TL have gotten first dragon.
Yeah.
They've
I
been
think you're
really
correct.
getting, we didn't think he was going to kill him with the Buster Shot. And he just had to actually stop that trade from continuing. And now TL going to get pushed, use Dematerializer on the cannon, but Someday in trouble. He just has to interrupt.
Someday knocks him up into the air with the Orn Horn. Gets a proc, but Summit flashing in, trying to get it. Summit, Closer, fall to Closer, who gets his second first blood of the split.
There would have lost the fight. That's why they stood it off there. And APA with the prio was able to start Dragon, but Quid is here. Pioshik goes if they can burst
Over
him.
the wall, they instantly burst down Busio. Team Liquid with a nice trigger pull, but the top laners are ready to get involved. Ornhorn onto 3, and it forces out the ulti for the 4th. Quid with a jump over the wall, trying to get away from the helicopter as Summit enters evasion, a defensive stance, and chases after the 100 Thieves mid laner. The Thieves left scattered to the wind as Team Liquid brings everybody down for the party.
Yeah, it looks like Quid canceled some autos, so he didn't actually, I think, fully detonate the E. So he didn't get a reset on his rocket jump there, which made things a bit awkward. So they could look for a 4v4, but
There's no ultis on Xayah or Rakan. CoreJJ using the grand entrance to get away from the dredge line of Busio. Dragon secured by Closer. APA is still hanging around, and he has the petrifying gaze, so 100 Thieves
Might be able to finish
got
off
it,
this
yeah.
turret.
Oh, Quid getting engaged on with the flash from the Sejuani. He uses the Buster Shot to knock Pioshik back underneath
Okay.
the turret, finds a lot of damage on the Team Liquid jungler. So TL's play is not going to work out on the top side, but they do get the turret in bottom lane. The tier 1 falls to APA, while the Rift Herald summoned up from the Thieves is going to get one back in mid. Now purchased by APA. Huge power spike for the Cassiopeia. This champion is incredibly deadly once those two are online. You can see the tier is already fully stacked too, considering how spammable the spells are on this champion. So once that evolves into an Archangel staff.
So much DPS in these fights as long as you're hitting your spells. Pyosik though looking for the gauge.
Pyosik on the front line. 100 Thieves can't fire back right into the center. They're going to go after APA instead. But Yon's already killed Busio.
Double X.
XCC coming up from Someday as Double X is firing from the Drake pit. Pyosik now under pressure, but it's a double kill back over to Yon. It's traded 2 for 2 as Double X is still alive, trying to find a little bit more damage under the Team Liquid bot lane duo. Quinn up at the top side, 1v1 against Summit, and they're both low. Back in the Dragon Pit, things continue.
Diego gets in, they do get that finish off, and then up on the top side, this is what happened as that TP got canceled by Summit.
It's just a matter of succeeding where he hasn't been able to succeed much this split.
And I'm going to be interested to see how Someday actually wants to play this out. Is Busio flashing in?
APA getting dove by 3. Alley-oop slam dunk for Quid. Team Liquid loses their mid laner, and 100 Thieves is going to take the money from that one. They're going to take down the tier 1 turret. They're going to take the gold. Take becomes incredibly quick.
Yeah.
The Void Seekers continue flying out there from Double F, trying to land as much of that poke as he can. There's a Sejuani ulti. Busio in danger here, but CoreJJ damage too. The explosive shot might claim him. CoreJJ explodes, and 100 Thieves get a 1 for nothing.
Nicely done there. 100 Thieves getting a kill on. Look to upgrade an item. He has the level available, but Jax is behind him.
They know. They make the collapse. They've immediately found a ton of damage on Busio, and they're going to kill him before the fight even starts. Team Liquid beautifully done there, as Summit's got to be careful about chasing too hard. Team Liquid finding the enemy support for free means now they're going to start up the Drake.
Falling, and as you say, soul point for Team Liquid.
And there was no ability for them to actually turn on him because Busio was dead instantly. So Double F lost both his sums as well, and now they're going for a fight.
APA going to get jumped on now. Closer goes in, but he gets bursted down. Yon's in a rampage, and 100 Thieves may have just lost the game. They were waiting on a pixel rush, but it was warded. APA got jumped on, but he avoids the death, and now...
Long ago, he has to pull off some type of miracle. He needs a third item before anything else can happen. They have to stop this Team Liquid Baron push somehow. Quid got chunked out, though. Team Liquid is just rolling through them.
They're just right now. The bottom part of the rift looks like a Guitar Hero track from how many pings of both sides are going off, as both teams are trying to figure out where they want to attack, how they want to coordinate. Team Liquid keeping Summit back in the mid lane. He takes the tier 1 turret, applying pressure on the tier 2, double Baroned up cannon minions. Even if Summit's not standing there hitting the turret, those are doing plenty of damage, wearing it down. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, the tier 3 is under pressure, having already lost about half the HP on that Summit. Closer going mid, looking for Summit, who just disengages. Sejuani, if he hits Quinn, he buffers through it, but it's enough to force him back from the tier 3. That falls, and Team Liquid claims the inhibitor in the bottom lane. Now they retreat before Closer and Someday can even rotate over, and TL get what they came for.
TL are just pulling them apart here with this split push. There's no answer to Summit. You send 2 members up to him, so the TL4 on pot side will push forward. Claim that.
No more room for error. It is an elimination match.
This is the most 100 Thieves way.
They're backing it away. They're backing it away.
Yeah, I mean, it's key business there from Quid. Playing with fire a little bit, wanted to get an auto down, just try to get a little bit of damage out onto Core, but you are...
Down to this, if they can play this Baron fight properly, as 100 Thieves contests.
Look at Core and Summit. There's just no way you can walk in here.
They're ready for the flank. The Baron's down to about 700 HP. It's going to be secured by Pyosik on the Sejuani as Double F gets chain seized.
They got him!
God rips the feathers right through him. Busio's going to drop next. Quid goes into the Guardian Angel. He's going to resurrect, but it's only in time to watch the season end. Team Liquid will get a clean ace. They will wipe 100 Thieves off the rift. They will win this series, and they will eliminate 100 Thieves from Professional League of Legends for the rest of 2023.
CoreJJ takes down Doublelift with his new partner, Rookie of the Year, Yon. 8-0-3 in this one. Team Liquid, 3-1.
Easy stuff for TL, man. They played it cool, they played it calm, they played it collected, and they played it to a win over 100 Thieves.
And I do think